Imagine waking up to headlines claiming that the future of one of Britain's most treasured private estates had suddenly shifted behind closed palace doors. No official warning. No dramatic press conference. Just whispers spreading through royal circles, each one more astonishing than the last. What if a single decision inside the palace changed everything? And what if that decision sparked tension among those closest to the crown? Today's story is a fictional royal drama inspired by public fascination with the British monarchy. It is not based on confirmed events, but it explores what might happen if an unexpected change in responsibility sent shockwaves through palace life. It all begins on an unusually quiet morning. The palace gates opened as staff members hurried inside with sealed folders marked private. Unlike the usual stream of ceremonial schedules and public engagements, these documents carried a different significance. They concerned the management of a prestigious private royal estate that had long symbolized continuity, history, and responsibility. Senior advisors gathered around an antique oak table, speaking in careful, measured tones. Every sentence was weighed, every recommendation considered. The atmosphere suggested that whatever was about to happen would shape the family's internal dynamics for years to come. Then came the unexpected proposal. According to this fictional scenario, Prince William was asked to assume immediate oversight of the estate's day-to-day strategic management. It was not about ownership or inheritance. Instead, it reflected confidence in his ability to modernize operations while preserving tradition. The room fell silent. Some advisors welcomed the idea immediately. They argued that William had spent years preparing for larger responsibilities and had demonstrated an interest in environmental stewardship, sustainable land management, and long-term planning. Others hesitated, not because they questioned his abilities, but because they understood how symbolic the decision would become. Every change inside the monarchy carries meaning. Every appointment invites interpretation. Every adjustment creates speculation. Within hours, palace corridors buzzed with conversation. Household staff exchanged curious glances. Administrative teams quietly reorganized schedules. Security officers noticed an increase in visitors arriving for confidential meetings. Outside the palace walls, rumors spread even faster. Royal commentators debated whether this fictional move represented a changing generation of leadership. Some believed it signaled greater trust in William's judgment. Others wondered whether it reflected a broader vision for the monarchy's future. None of the speculation could be confirmed. Yet the conversations continued. Inside the fictional story, William approached the responsibility differently from many expected. Rather than announcing sweeping reforms, he spent several days reviewing decades of historical records, financial reports, conservation projects, and restoration plans. He reportedly insisted on understanding every detail before making a single recommendation. Employees noticed something unusual. Instead of immediately replacing long-serving staff, William requested individual meetings with estate managers, gardeners, conservation specialists, historians, and maintenance teams. He asked questions. He listened carefully. He took notes. Many who met him left surprised by how much attention he paid to seemingly small details. One veteran groundskeeper explained how certain ancient oak trees required decades of planning rather than yearly maintenance. William listened for nearly an hour. Another conservation expert described restoration work on historic buildings that demanded patience instead of speed. Again, William listened. Gradually, confidence began growing among those responsible for preserving the estate. Meanwhile, fictional newspapers imagined growing curiosity elsewhere within royal circles. Some family members reportedly questioned why the transition had happened so quietly. Others wondered whether additional responsibilities would soon follow. Commentators filled television studios with endless theories. Was this merely practical planning? Or was it the beginning of a larger shift? No one seemed able to agree. As public interest intensified, palace officials maintained their familiar silence. That silence only encouraged more discussion. Weeks passed. Then William unveiled the first phase of his fictional vision. Instead of focusing on appearances, he emphasized preservation. Historic buildings would receive careful restoration. Woodlands would expand through long-term planting programs. Agricultural partnerships would encourage sustainable farming. Public educational initiatives would allow future generations to appreciate centuries of royal history without compromising the estate's privacy. The proposal impressed conservation experts inside the fictional narrative. It also attracted attention from financial advisors. Long-term sustainability often requires significant investment before producing measurable results. Some believed the strategy was ambitious. Others considered it essential. Regardless of opinion, nearly everyone agreed it demonstrated careful planning rather than impulsive decision-making. As discussions continued, the media searched tirelessly for signs of disagreement within the wider royal family. Every facial expression at public events became headline material. Every conversation photographed from a distance generated countless interpretations online. The public watched closely. Supporters praised William's calm leadership. Critics questioned whether expectations had become too high. The fictional estate itself remained peaceful. Visitors continued admiring historic gardens. Wildlife flourished across protected landscapes. Ancient buildings stood proudly beneath changing skies. Behind the scenes, however, strategic meetings continued almost daily. Experts in architecture, conservation, agriculture, finance, tourism, and environmental science contributed ideas. William encouraged collaboration rather than hierarchy. According to this fictional account, one meeting lasted nearly 6 hours as specialists debated the future of several historic structures. No decision was rushed. Every proposal underwent careful examination. That approach gradually earned respect among many working closest to the project. Elsewhere, palace insiders quietly acknowledged that effective leadership often involves listening more than speaking. William appeared determined to demonstrate exactly that. Yet, every important decision inevitably creates differing opinions. Not everyone favored cautious modernization. Some fictional advisors preferred preserving every tradition exactly as it had existed for generations. Others argued the estate needed bold innovation to remain financially secure for decades ahead. Balancing those competing priorities became William's greatest challenge. As the weeks unfolded, anticipation reached its highest point yet. A major announcement was rumored to be approaching. Journalists assembled outside palace entrances. Television crews prepared live broadcasts. Royal watchers refreshed news feeds every few minutes. Across Britain and beyond, countless observers wondered whether the next statement would redefine expectations surrounding the estate's future. Inside the palace, final preparations quietly continued. Documents were reviewed one last time. Recommendations received their final revisions. Senior advisors gathered once again around the same oak table where the conversation had first begun. The atmosphere felt remarkably different now. Uncertainty had given way to cautious optimism. Everyone understood that whatever happened next would become part of the estate's continuing story. And just as the final folder was placed before William, the heavy doors slowly opened. A messenger stepped inside, carrying a sealed envelope marked with the highest level of royal confidentiality. Every conversation stopped instantly. No one moved. No one spoke. William reached for the envelope, fully aware that whatever message awaited inside could change every plan that had been carefully prepared. The room held its breath. William carefully broke the royal seal and unfolded the letter. After reading it silently, he looked around the room with quiet determination. The message did not call for dramatic change. It reaffirmed the importance of preserving the estate for future generations through steady, responsible stewardship. The advisors exchanged relieved glances as the meeting concluded with a renewed sense of purpose. Outside, speculation continued, but inside the palace, the focus remained on duty rather than headlines. Whatever stories the public might tell, the fictional estate's future would be shaped not by rumor or rivalry, but by patience, service, and respect for a lasting royal legacy.